to the 2021 Shaw Classic. We are going to have 16 athletes battling over 8 events over the next 2 days. In the end, one man will be crowned your new Shaw Classic champion. Right now, let's throw it to Brian and Terry for more of the action.
At 7,500 feet above sea level, in the middle of scenic Rocky Mountain National Park, we are at the Estes Park Event Center in Estes Park, Colorado, for the 2nd annual Brian Shaw Classic, as we set the table for a feast of strongman competitions over the next 2 days. Sitting next to me, 15-time world strongman competitor, 2-time podium finisher, and a man who fills out a golf shirt a lot better than I do, Terry Holland. Terry, what are you looking forward to about this weekend?
I mean, I think it's going to be a fantastic event. We've genuinely got 16 of the best guys in the world, all doing battle in 8 of the toughest events they could be asked to do, and we're truly going to find who's the strongest person here.
And over the next 2 days, a couple of events per day, 4 events per day, 8 over the next 2. The log press is how we're going to start out, followed by the super yoke, the bag over bar, and the car squat, all on day 1, followed by day 2, a Hummer tire deadlift, followed by a grueling, backbreaking, and lung-busting medley, a circus dumbbell, and then finally, on the dessert menu is the Atlas Stones. You've seen some of these new apparatus. Terry, what are you looking forward to seeing that's new here this year?
I mean, for me, I think the most exciting event I'm really looking forward to is the medley on day 2. It's going to be absolutely grueling for the athletes, like you said. They've got to load 2 sandbags, carry a wheelbarrow, and then use this magnificent piece of equipment for the arm over arm pull. And it's really going to test the guys' cardio, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's an absolute engineering feat of steel and cable, and we get to see that tomorrow. But first, the log press. I'm going to introduce the athletes in the order that they're going to come out for the log press. Evan Singleton, who just won the Giants event over in Manchester 2 weeks ago. JF Caron from Canada, Constantine Genashia, Zadrunas Savickas, Brian Shaw, Gabriel Croom. He's the newcomer from Canada. Not a lot known about him, but he surprised the Canadian strongman just 2 weeks ago. Then it's Adam Bishop from Great Britain, Gabriel Pena, Avars Smuckstellis, Jerry Pritchett, Bobby Thompson, Mikhail Shivlikov, Kevin Ferris, Trey Mitchell, Maxime Boudreau, and Graham Hicks, as we see the first competitor, Evan Singleton, presses the first log that's loaded with 380 pounds, and he goes easily up for the first lift.
Yeah, that looked really comfortable. 380 pounds for Evan. Nice lift. I'm hoping we're going to see him go over 440 pounds today. I think there's quite a few of the guys are capable of that sort of weight today.
We'll talk about some of the new breed that's here today. Terry, some of the old guard that's here. Who do you expect to finish well from the veterans?
I mean, for the veterans, I think the obvious choice is Brian Shaw. But then I'm really excited to see Big Z back. He's had a bit of time off. Seeing the battles between Brian and Zadrunas are part of what made strongman so great in recent years. So it's got fantastic to see him back, and it's going to be a great battle between the two of them.
JF Caron on the log, 380 pounds, up, overhead, and good, says the judges.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's going to be one of JF's strongest events. Tomorrow we've got obviously the Hummer tire deadlift, which is JF's speciality. He's the current world record holder. But he's going to be hoping that he can score a good few points on this event and just keep himself in the mix.
Constantine Genashia is the third competitor, trying for 380 pounds on the log press. Getting ready, the big man standing next to these guys. And Terry, you're no slouch yourself, but some of these men are massive, pushing the 400-pound weight barrier in some cases. And this man, Genashia, is a unit.
Yeah, I mean, he's an incredible strong man as well. He moves well, he's strong, he's overhead strong, he's deadlift strong. He's really, really a well-rounded strong man.
Making 380 look light. Constantine Genashia, as he'll have a seat.
all of the guys making this first weight look like a warm-up, which is incredible. When I started competing in strongman, this was the world record, so it shows how far the sport has progressed.
And for those of you wanting to know about the warm-up, they were taking about 270 pounds and just kind of warming up with that, doing a few reps. And here is the big man, the current world record holder for this event, Zydrunas Savickas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so pleased to see him back, and this is really strong event. I mean, not that he was ever really bad at any event, but he's an incredible strong man, an incredible overhead presser. Made light work of that there.
So 380 is the starting point for the log press. You know, we call it a press, but you got to clean it first, Terry, and that's not an easy job either.
No, even the clean. I mean, it doesn't matter how strong your shoulders are, as long as, you know, you've got to be strong enough to be able to get it there in the first place. So, you know, all of these guys are so strong in every area of their body. So we're looking forward to seeing some great numbers hit today.
And here is the local legend, Brian Shaw. His first lift on the log press, 380 pounds. And the man who's created this event, we'll talk more about that later. Brian Shaw steps to the podium.
I mean, I think we're with Brian and Zydrunas, we truly are, in my opinion, looking at the two greatest strongmen of all time. And a really nice lift there from Brian. Really easy work at 380 pounds.
So everyone clear so far through the first 5 competitors. Gabriel Croom, who we just met, Terry, and a bit of an unknown until he upset Maxime Boudreau just a few weeks ago at the Canadian Strongman event.
Yeah, I mean, to win Canada's Strongest Man, you know he's got some pedigree, that's for sure. With Maxime there, obviously just coming off the back of a 3rd place at World's Strongest Man. You know, he's an incredible strong man himself. So for Gabriel to win the event at Canada's Strongest Man is incredible. It's also great to see some new guys coming into the sport. It's fantastic.
Yeah, youngest guy here, 24 years old. Maxi, little struggle there. Crowd gets behind him. And 380 pounds for Gabriel Croom.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the nerves are getting to him a little bit, or maybe this is just not a strong event for him. You know, it's a tough opening weight. I mean, I'd struggle to get this, that's for sure, even when I was in shape.
He reacts, goes one more time, presses, the crowd's behind him, can't lock it out. Gabriel Croom.
So unlucky there. He gave it a really good effort and was just unfortunate not quite to get the lockout.
And we talked about the deadlift earlier between you and I, and it's those last couple inches, and it looks like the weight is going up. What is key to those to getting that lockout?
I mean, for the lockout for these guys on the log press, it's all about tricep strength. You know, I mean, Gabriel's just new to the sport. He's only 24 years old. He's going to have time to get that tricep strength up and perform better on this event in the future.
Adam Bishop out of Surrey, England, drops the bar a little bit awkward on the clean.
Maybe just went a little bit lightheaded there. See, that's another thing that we need to factor in, is having the log sitting on your chest often restricts your breathing a little bit, and you do tend to go a little bit lightheaded sometimes.
So Bish.
Easy work there.
Up and down he goes.
Just needed a few seconds to gather himself.
Last year, this specific event won by Luke Stoltman, who is not here. He and his brother Tom at their sister's wedding couldn't make the trip. You got to have priorities, don't you, Terry?
Yeah, sometimes you do. And I mean, it's a shame not to see him here, but I mean, obviously they've been replaced by some guys that are absolutely fantastic.
And this, a late arrival to the field, Gabriel Pena.
Yeah, he just did Giants Live in Manchester a couple of weeks ago, and he was fantastic there.
Struggles with the lockout as well. 380 pounds, Terry. That is a tough start.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show that the standard of the guys, obviously, that we're opening on 380 pounds is just incredible. But I think if Gabriel really gets this one right, he could possibly get it. He's unfortunate not to.
Too much for the big man from Edinburgh, Texas.
He'll definitely come on the events tomorrow. He's a very, very strong deadlifter, so he's still got some very good events to come.
So Avars Smokstelis steps to the podium for his first lift. 380 pounds, the starting weight.
Ivers is a fantastic all-round strongman. Not exceptional at any one thing, but really good at everything. So I'm looking forward to seeing him compete this weekend.
Easy stuff from Ivars Smokstelis.
Yeah, that was a fantastic lift. Nice and smooth. Really did well there.
And here comes Jerry Pritchett.
Jerry's one of the elder statesmen, still competing, but still a fantastic strongman. Was 4th place at World's Strongest Man in 2020, and still an incredible athlete.
Told me yesterday, Terry, that he dropped a bunch of weight. It was a lot lighter, almost 50 pounds down from his peak weight last year. And a lot of that is because of injuries and just the nature of what last year was to deal with for a lot of athletes. We'll see if being lighter can also be a help if he uses it correctly.
I mean, I hope so. I know Jerry's carrying a shoulder injury anyway, so for him to do well on this event would have been a big ask, but he's definitely got some strong events to come.
Here comes Bobby Thompson, the man known as the American Nightmare. Yeah, out of Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Definitely one of the favourites for this event. Bobby's just not long ago broke the American log press record and is a fantastic log presser.
478.5 pounds on the log press for the Nightmare.
I think he's one of the guys that has one eye on the world record in the near future, so he's definitely capable of it. He's still only a young guy, so he's got plenty of time. Just easy work there.
And just the strict press going overhead. How much technique is involved in the log press, Terry?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of technique. You're trying to not push the log in front of you, making sure you're nice and stable. It's not just about shoulder power, it's having that strength of your core and everything to hold yourself tight. But Bobby there, just strict pressing that weight, just showing his real shoulder power and tricep power.
Is there a little bit of gamesmanship to making it look so easy? Does he want to kind of scare the field off a little bit, make them get in their heads potentially?
Yeah, I'm sure he does. He wants to show them who's boss. They're all sort of struggling with it or using leg drive, and Bobby just came out and strict pressed it to show who's boss. Mikhail here.
Shivlikov, easy overhead, 380.
Another fantastic strongman, Mikhail. Always smiling, always happy, and yeah, he's a real gutsy competitor. I've seen him injured so many times in competition. He just keeps going. He's so tough.
So starting weight right now, everyone save 3. Jerry Pritchett, Gabriel Pena, and Gabriel Croom not able to press the first weight. Starting weight 380.
Kevin up next. Kevin Ferris, in my opinion, possibly the strongest pound-for-pound man on the planet. He's one of the smaller guys here, but an absolutely fantastic all-round strongman.
Ferris out of Provo, Utah. Sets it, cleans it, presses it, locks it out. Good to go. 380 pounds overhead. Interesting that, you know, they call Ferris a little guy. It's because he hasn't reached the 300-pound threshold. He's not a small guy. I've talked to him before. It just gives you an idea of how massive some of these frames are that are stepping to the podium.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin's still a huge guy in normal terms. Just small for a strongman, but really incredible strongman and massive future over the next few years, I'm sure.
So Trey Mitchell III, Charlie Mitchell Jr., his dad. And technically, he's a Charlie as well, but he goes by Trey, and he's about to put 380 pounds overhead. Sets his feet, sets his arms, gets clearance from the judges, and he'll move on.
I love the way Trey goes about his business. He's like a silent assassin. Doesn't really make a big deal of anything. Just quietly goes about his business, but an incredible strongman.
So Maxime Boudreau.
3rd place at World's Strongest Man this year. Did absolutely fantastic through the whole show, and definitely one of the real rising stars of the sport at the moment.
The 29-year-old from Thunder Bay, up in Canada.
He's a very, very good log presser as well. I expect to see him go over 440 pounds today.
Boudreau, second last year at the Shaw. Goes easily overhead for Maxime Boudreau.
I remember actually last year watching him doing the log press, and he every lift he did, he used a different technique. So it's it's incredible to watch him, and he's a really good strongman.
And the final competitor in the first round, Graham Hicks from Morecambe, up in England. Up and over it goes, and so we have 13 out of 16 who've gone through 380 pounds. The next up on the bar will be 400 pounds. So 400 pounds on the bar now for the first competitor. Round 2, Evan Singleton.
Yeah, we're getting into the big weights now, and we're already sort of, up to big weights and seeing some impressive lifting. So,
and really straight into it, Terry. 380 to start out with, the warm-up, and then straight into the 400-pound barrier for the second lift.
Yeah, I mean, Evan's probably one of the most intense guys you'd ever meet, and it's great to see him doing his work and lifting some big numbers.
Absolute beast. 400 pounds on the log for Evan Singleton. Makes it look easy. The big man from Lexington, Kentucky, 25 years old. And as far as up-and-comers go, Terry, there can't be many more that are scarier than that youngster.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got the makings of a future World's Strongest Man winner, that's for sure. He's got all the right tools. He's big, he's tall, he's fast, he's strong. You know, he's got all the abilities that he needs, and I'm sure he'll go on and win some titles in the future.
400 pounds on the bar for JF Caron.
As I said before, JF, this is not one of his absolute strongest events. He still should pick up a few good points, but I think he'll be happy to definitely get this lift and then maybe move on to the next one as well.
Well, I don't know how, but 400 looked easier than 380 for JF, and it looked like he struggled with that first left. You mentioned that not necessarily is his strongest event, but he put 400 up pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he just needed that first one as a little warm-up, and maybe the nerves were just there a little bit on the first lift, but that was definitely easy in the 380 pounds, which is incredible.
So Singleton and Caron make the 400 mark, and now Constantine Genashia steps to the podium for the 400-pounder.
Yeah, Constantine's a former fifth place at World's Strongest Man finisher. Fantastic all-round strongman, he really is. If Constantine's on form, he should make this look pretty comfortable. There you go.
But you mentioned Constantine Genashia and tricep strength. He just put 400 pounds up. One of the concerns for Genashia is that he has a torn tricep. He said it wouldn't affect his log press. The circus dumbbell, a difficult event for Genashia, but true to form, he puts 400 pounds up on that log press.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the psychological battle as well for someone like Constantine. Well, for all the guys, once you've had a big injury like that, to come back and sort of try and put it to the back of your mind is a tough thing to do.
Zydrunas Savickas, 400 pounds. And a straight press from Savickas.
It's great to see the big man back lifting again. Truly one of the greatest strongmen of all time. Fantastic athlete, and yeah, it's great to see him back.
So the big Lithuanian gets the job done in the second round, 400 pounds up easy. We mentioned Genashia's torn tricep. Talking to all these athletes, Terry, yourself included, it's difficult to remain 100% healthy. In fact, it's super rare to be that.
Yeah, I mean, we always sort of look at it, and you've always got something wrong with you at all times. You just, you know, it's sort of like if they're just a little pain that you sort of have to work around, or a big pain which causes you a lot of problems. But most of the guys have some sort of injury all year round.
So the big man, Brian Shaw, from right here in Colorado, Gets the crowd behind him.
I mean, I know with Brian, when he first started competing back years and years ago, when I remember when I first met Brian, this wasn't a strong event for him, but he worked so hard to get it good, and now one of the best log presses in the world.
400 pounds. Locked out for Brian Shaw, so he moves on as well. Stepped away from the Harlequins Rugby Club last year, was part of their strength and conditioning program. Wanted to concentrate on being a full-time strongman. 400 pounds going up. Easy for Bish.
Oh, he didn't get the down signal from Magnus. He just didn't hold the lockout long enough.
Thought he had it. Gonna have to do it again to get the qualifying. Got 20 seconds to get back on the bar.
Great to see Adam press that, though. It's probably the easiest 400-pound press I've ever seen him do, so. And gets it that time.
So it's, speaking of old guard, Magnus for Magnus.
And some are picking to set a record in this very event. Bobby Thompson! Got it.
Up next, Misha Shibriakov.
Ferris good at 400. Up next, Trey Mitchell the third. Easy for Mitchell the third. Up now, Maxime Boudreau. So the last competitor, Graham Hicks, is going to pass at 400 and skip to the next weight. That's how the strategy works. So with that, we're going to kick it up now to 420 pounds. Still 13 athletes in this competition.
How much strategy is involved in a two-day competition like this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're not going to want to waste any energy because doing 4 events as a whole competition is tough, but to do it 2 days in a row is extremely tough to do. So they're going to want to save a bit of energy if they can.
On the bar for Evan Singleton, 420 pounds.
He's really fired up for this one. Come on, Evan.
Double dips, triple dips, and still can't manage to throw up 420. So he's got 20 seconds to re-rack. 420 pounds on the bar for Evan Singleton.
Still an absolutely huge weight. These guys are lifting incredible weights. 420 pounds is a massive, massive lift.
Just can't get the lockout, so Singleton gonna have to be happy with 400. 420 pounds on the bar for JF Caron, the legend from Quebec.
Yeah, he's been around for so long and putting some massive performances over the years. JF really is one of the absolute legends of the sport that's still competing. That's a great lift for JF.
420 on the log. JF Caron. Round 3 here at the log clean and press. Constantine Genashia with 420 pounds in front of him.
Oh, just push that one a little bit in front of him, that was all. He definitely had the strength there to lift it.
So much energy expended to get it up the first time. A monumental effort to go twice. 420 pounds going up. Can't get it done. And now the world record holder, Zydrunas Savickas, whose record is almost 100 pounds heavier than what's currently on this log. What do you think, 420 in front of Zydrunas, Big Z?
I mean, I really, really hope he gets this. I mean, I was there and witnessed some of the lifts that he did over the years, and the world record probably could have been much, much higher than it was if someone had have actually pushed him. He was so far ahead of everyone else. But, yeah, truly left his legacy on the sport and is an absolute superstar within strongman. Oh, that's great. He really had to work for that one, which is fantastic. Big Z back competing is just, you know, he may not be his absolute strongest on the log press, but seeing him back is fantastic.
420 pounds overhead for Zydrunas Savickas, Big Z. Just give a shout out to the people who made this possible. Besides the original power couple, Carrie and Brian Shaw, what an amazing job they've done. Evolution Athletics, Undefined Nutrition, Shaw Strength, and Rogue, and of course with the nutrition, got to fuel the athletes. Trifecta, putting calories into all 16 athletes and the announcers.
Yep, exactly. And the food is delicious.
Had some arroz con pollo last night for dinner, but meanwhile, Brian Shaw, 420 on the bar.
Next up,
Brian's more than capable of doing this. So long as he gets his technique right and nails it, he's definitely going to get this. And he's just lost it a little bit, but Brian is the absolute sort of professional when it comes to this sport, so he's just making sure the log's in the right place and going to have another go.
All right, so 20 seconds to get his hands back on the bar, get it moving again. Crowd is pumped.
I mean, like I said, Brian's more than capable of this, so let's hope he gets it.
Not today for Brian Shaw, so 400 for Brian Shaw. Last year was 440. Not going to happen again for Shaw, and leaves the door open, perhaps, Terry, for some of the young guns.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, but Brian, obviously, you know, he's really, really strong on every event, so still plenty of time to go for him. But yeah, it definitely gives some of the guys still in a good opportunity to maybe put in a good battle with him towards the end of the competition.
But here's a man you know well and have worked out with, Adam Bishop. You think he's got 420 on him based on what you've seen today?
I mean, this will be a big lift for Adam. I believe it'll be a competition PB, so really hopeful he gets it. I mean, the first lift went up easy, he just didn't hold the lockout. No, it's just not quite there, but I mean, Adam really has improved his log pressing so much.
So 400 for Adam Bishop, can't do 420. And going to leave that for Ivar's Smockstellis.
Looked very comfortable on his two opening lifts, which is great to see. And yeah, I'm pretty certain he's going to get this as well. His last one looked so comfortable.
Next up at 420 pounds, Adam Bishop.
Let's go, Ivers. Oh, just lost his balance a little bit, just needs to get his line right.
Heck of an effort from Ivars. He's not done yet.
No, he gets another attempt. He's just going to gather himself and then go again.
And that little foot bobble seemed to have cost him on that first attempt.
Yeah, the thing with these sort of weights, you get really one good go at it. If you get it wrong the first time, chances are you're not going to get it the second time.
Bobby Thompson, Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Up next,
420 on the bar for Thompson.
Well, he's still around 60 pounds below his American record, which he didn't do that long ago. So just a little pop with the legs that time.
Well, every lift so far he's done clean with no legs. Maybe a little flex in the knees, as you mentioned there, to get up the 420.
Bobby's definitely good for a lot more weight than that, which is great to see.
So Thompson clears 420. Mikhail Shivlikov from Omsk in Siberia.
Yeah, had a hell of a battle on the last weight, and don't expect me to see Misha ever give up on anything. He's that sort of compare. He literally fights for everything, so I wouldn't be totally shocked if he gets this weight.
Schmatzelis out 420.
Crowd gets more into it.
Next up,
Shivlikov
the American record
steps
holder in the log
to the log once
Bobby
more.
Thompson.
Up it goes into the rack position. And trying to fight it once again. We saw the heroic battle from Shivlikov at 400. He made it to 400, couldn't get 420.
Yeah, it was just tapping his tricep after that as well, so I don't know if he's carrying a small injury, but I mean, Misha is literally one of the most determined competitors you'll ever find. He really fights for everything.
So Kevin Ferris, the lightest man in the competition, 285 pounds, solid technique, strong as an ox, really compact and uses his body well. He's going to go for 420 here on the log.
I mean, this would be an absolutely incredible lift if he gets it. Kevin, obviously the lightest man in the competition, and for him to get this would be fantastic to see. Kevin's another competitor that literally fights for everything, and he won't give up on this, that's for sure.
One more time at 420 pounds for Kevin Ferris from Provo, Utah. The former freestyle wrestler turned strongman. Too much for Ferris at 420. He did go clean with 400, but he'll step away. The 28-year-old Trey Mitchell, 420 pounds on the max log clean and press here. First event at the Brian Shaw Classic.
Nice solid clean there from Trey. Lovely. What a great lift.
Easy stuff at 420 for Trey Mitchell. Third place at the 2020 Arnold in Santa Monica. Second place at Canada's Strongest Man. Tries to go overhead with 420. And it's a difficult task for athletes. We haven't seen anybody step away from the log, come back and successfully clean and press it.
Yeah, it's a really tough thing to do. Like I said, with these big weights, you really only get one good shot at it. And yeah, if you miss it on the first go, then the chances are you won't get it.
And Hicks took a pass on 400, which was why we didn't see him in the last round, and now he's going straight to 420. And Hicksy,
just trying to save some energy, because we know Graham's a great log presser, so doesn't want to waste his energy on the lighter weights. No leg drive or anything there. It was absolutely amazing. Hicksy's got some of the strongest shoulders, if not the strongest shoulder on the planet.
it's always a gamble to skip a weight, but a successful one, if you can save the energy, you know you're comfortable at 420 like Graham Hicks was, and he can press it overhead. And while we wait for the crew here to stack 20 more pounds on the bar, the next lift is going to be 440 pounds. JF Caron from Quebec will take the first crack at 440. 3 competitors last year ended their day at 440. Were able to clear it.
I'm sure JF will be extremely happy to get this lift. It would mean big, big points for him. This really is like a weight that's like a benchmark, kind of 200 kilos, 440 pounds. This is where you really separate the really great log pressers from the good ones.
So JF Caron rolls it up, racks it, tries to put it overhead, puts it down, says no thank you.
It's a great attempt from JF though. Not known for his log pressing either, so for him to get up to those sort of weights is brilliant.
So it looks like there's a couple judges that we can see from our vantage point. They've indicated that Big Z not going to take a shot at 440.
Yeah, I mean, on the last lift, he was rolling his shoulder around and looking like he was in a bit of discomfort. So, yeah, obviously, he's obviously, decided that enough was enough.
Well, look, 420 is really nothing to feel bad about, and it may, based on the results we see here, it may still get him enough points to stay in that top 5.
Definitely, and we know that Big Z's great on the yoke, great squatter as well. He's still got some really good events to come, so certainly not out of it yet.
So we drop all the way to Bobby Thompson, the big man from Fredericksburg. 440 pounds on the log press for Thompson.
Let's see what he does this time, see if he tries to strict press this one as well.
Thompson loves it, holds it an extra second, gives the crowd what they came for, slams it to the ground. 440 pounds for Bobby Thompson.
Really great lift there, and I'm sure there's a little bit of mind games going on between Bobby, Trey and Graham at this point. They're all going to be sort of trying to psych each other out a little bit and show their dominance on this event.
Trey Mitchell, big Texan, steps to the log, now weighing 440 pounds. Just saw it clean by Bobby Thompson. The gauntlet laid down for Trey Mitchell.
Looked really good on 420 as well, so be great to see Trey get this, and he's definitely got a good chance at it. And he gets the lift. Brilliant lift there.
Mitchell, feet wobbling underneath him, manages to hold on for the judges, and he'll move through. So it's Thompson and Mitchell. 440 pounds successfully pressed. Can Graham Hicks join the party?
I mean, Graham and Bobby, I said coming into this, they're 2 of the guys that have got one eye on the world record in the future. But Trey's showing he means business as well, and he's definitely going to be taken into account when it comes to log press for max competitions. Fantastic lifting from Trey. Great lift there from Graham.
Hicksy joins the party. There's 3 left here in Estes Park at the Shaw Classic. 440 pounds overhead for Graham Hicks. He'll join Bobby Thompson and Trey Mitchell. And we'll have to wait from the judges to find out what the next weight will be on the bar. Bobby Thompson now on the log, 455 pounds. Thompson
Just going to set himself up.
overhead goes the log, 455, 207 kilos for the American Nightmare. And there's 2 other competitors right now that might be having some nightmares of their own.
Yeah, I mean, he was really pumped after that lift. He knows how important that's going to be, and that could be enough to take the win for Bobby. You know, Trey and Hicksy both looking strong as well, but that might be enough to clinch a first place.
And neither one of these remaining 2 have really looked that stressed under the weight of this log. Great form, very much playing to their strength. And to the bar comes Trey Mitchell. £455 for Trey Mitchell. Cleans it, presses it, smile.
Absolutely amazing. That was fantastic. Dare I say it, maybe looked even easier than Bobby did on that weight.
So both Mitchell and Thompson successful at 455, 207 kilos, up easy for the first 2. And Graham Hicks still very much involved.
I don't even think Hicks has used any leg drive yet, so, you know, he's definitely looking strong. It's just all on the clean for Hicksy. He looks smooth. Just lost his balance a little bit there.
Yep, and you saw the hand of the judge there, Magnus for Magnuson. Hand up, didn't wave him down yet, so now Hicksy gonna have to do it again to stay with Thompson and Mitchell.
He's just got to stay composed and make sure he keeps his balance. He can do this lift. Oh, it was a great effort anyway.
Well, you know, and as you said, it looked like it was off balance a little bit. Had the weight overhead, looked like it was going the right direction, and just the balance there. When you got 455 pounds over your head, Terry, how difficult is it to keep your footwork?
I mean, I've never had that weight overhead, but, you know, just from watching the guys and obviously knowing the sport and understand it, if you get that log an inch in the wrong line and slightly out of where it needs to be, it can completely throw you off balance. So, you know, Graham obviously had the shoulder power there, the tricep power, but just maybe pushed it behind him just a tiny bit.
So Graham Hicks going to have to settle for 3rd in the first event with 440 pounds. 455 went clean for Trey Mitchell and Bobby Thompson, and they're going to square off.
I mean, Trey's log pressing really has come on a lot the last few years. He was never like bad at this event, but he's just getting better and better, and I expect to see him do some huge numbers in the future. It's great to see the improvement from Trey. He's only a young guy as well and just keeps getting stronger all the time.
And a robust discussion again from the judges, and you can see Brian Shaw getting involved in the talks. And the discussion, I'm sure, Terry, is what's the next weight going to be? Who makes the decision?
I mean, they'll probably have a conversation with the athletes, the referees, you know, the organisers. They'll all have a conversation and figure out the best way to go. What they ideally want to happen is one of the guys to get the next lift and one of them to fail it, just to split them so they don't end up on the same points. This really sets Trey up for a big performance at this competition as well, because he's got some really good events to come.
Trey's ready to go. .470, 470 pounds for Trey Mitchell.
He's had that log a long time on his chest now.
Well, he goes for it. He'd still be Almost 10 pounds shy of the American record.
Was a great effort from Trey there, though. Oh, wow, Bobby's attempting the American record.
So Mitchell goes for 470. Can't get it. And Bobby Thompson, the American Nightmare, about to step up to a new American record if he can successfully clean and press 480 pounds overhead.
It's a really smart thing to do that Bobby's attempting here. He's going for the American record. He knows he's already guaranteed joint first place, even if he doesn't get it. So, you know, hopefully everyone gets behind him, the crowd give him some support, and he gets a new American record.
So it's either going to be split the points with Trey Mitchell or take first and set a record.
I mean, this really is huge numbers being lifted now. There's not many people in the world that have ever done this weight before.
Trying to put himself in very rare company. Bobby Thompson, 480 pounds.
Come on, Bobby. Really getting the support from the crowd here. Nice clean to the chest. Let's go, Bobby. Oh, it was so close, so close.
Almost got it, couldn't lock it out. A bow, almost a dream for the American Nightmare.
That was about as close as you'll get to getting the lift without actually getting it. It was a really, really great effort from Bobby there.